Welcome to another cinematic journey. We're diving into The Surfer this week, a film a lot of you have been asking about. And of course, you want to know all about it. But here's the thing. Well, it's not really released yet, is it?
Not fully, no. As of today, April 7th, 2025, we're still a few weeks out from the wide release, which is set for May 2nd.
So we're in this sort of interesting in-between zone. We can't really talk about, like, box office numbers or the full critical reception or, all those juicy details that come out after a movie hits theaters.
Exactly. We don't have that widespread audience reaction to factor in just yet. All those hot takes and fan theories are still brewing.
But on the flip side, we do have something pretty unique to work with. We have this pre-release buzz, especially all that came out of The Surfer's premiere at the Cannes Film Festival last year, back in May 2024.
It's like a sneak peek behind the curtain before the main event. And Cannes, as you know, is a pretty big deal in the film world. So those early reactions can give us a real sense of what to expect.
Absolutely. So think of this cinematic journey as your exclusive pre-release briefing. We're going to break down everything we know so far about The Surfer, giving you a solid picture of what's in store when it finally hits theaters.
Sounds like a plan. Let's dive in.
Okay, so let's start with the basic setup.
Yeah.
We've got Nicolas Cage, right? And he's playing a man who's returning to his Australian childhood beach town. He's taking his teenage son with him, supposedly for a nostalgic surfing trip. Sounds pretty idyllic, doesn't it? Like a classic father-son bonding story, maybe with some beautiful beach scenery thrown in. What were your initial thoughts when you heard that premise?
It definitely sets up a certain expectation. There's that familiar trope of returning to a place from your past, hoping to recapture something, maybe a sense of peace or belonging. It tugs at the heartstrings. But what struck me was how quickly the film subverts that expectation.
Yeah, the rug gets pulled out from under us pretty fast, doesn't it?
Right.
This isn't a laid-back surf trip where everything goes smoothly. I mean, the guy gets driven off his old surfing spot by this local gang who basically claim ownership of the waves. It's a pretty harsh reality check.
It's a jarring shift in tone. And the way it's described in the early reviews, it's not just a casual encounter, it's a deliberate and humiliating rejection. They're basically telling him, you don't belong here anymore. What did you make of that?
It's such a powerful, inciting incident, isn't it? I mean, most people in that situation would probably just pack up and move on, find a different beach, maybe chalk it up to bad luck. But this character, he doesn't do that. He becomes fixated on reclaiming his place, almost like it's a matter of life or death. What do you think drives that kind of excessive reaction?
Well, I think it taps into something deeper than just wanting to catch a few waves. This isn't just about surfing, it's about identity. You have to remember, this is his childhood beach, the place where he likely formed a lot of his sense of self. So to be rejected there in such a public and humiliating way, it's like a fundamental attack on who he is. It's like they're erasing his past.
And his response is to dig in his heels and fight back.
Right. It's like he's saying, no, you can't take this away from me. This is who I am.
Yeah.
And that sets the stage for the rest of the film, this escalating battle of wills between him and this surfer gang.
So given this setup, this intense conflict, and the director's previous work, what kind of cinematic experience should we expect? We're not talking about a lighthearted beach comedy here, are we?
Definitely not. I mean, if you've seen Lorcan Finnegan's earlier film, Vivarium, you know he has a knack for creating unsettling, surreal, and often claustrophobic atmospheres. And the early buzz around The Surfer suggests he's leaning heavily into that style again. We're talking psychological thriller territory, potentially with some elements of dark comedy or even surreal horror mixed in. Think of it as Falling Down meets Point Break, but filtered through Finnegan's unique lens.
So not exactly a relaxing day at the beach.
Not quite. And then you have Nicolas Cage in the lead role, who's known for his, shall we say, committed and often unpredictable performances. So there's that added layer of intensity and potential for the unexpected.
I think it's safe to say that Cage is going to bring his A game to this one. And from what we've heard about the filming process, it sounds like he really pushed himself physically and emotionally for the role.
Right. And the location itself seems to play a key role in the film's atmosphere. They filmed around Yallingup in Western Australia, which is known for its beautiful but also quite powerful and dangerous beaches. So it's not just a scenic backdrop, it's almost like another character in the story.
It sounds like the landscape will mirror the protagonist's internal turmoil. And the fact that it premiered as part of the midnight screenings at Cannes is telling, isn't it?
Definitely. That slot is often reserved for films that are a bit more daring, genre-bending, or designed to provoke a strong reaction from the audience. So it seems like The Surfer is aiming to get under our skin and stay there.
Okay, so let's talk about the themes we might see explored. It seems like there's a lot going on beneath the surface here.
Absolutely. We're dealing with masculinity for sure. The protagonist's sense of self is tied to his past as a surfer, and that's being challenged. So there's this exploration of what happens when a man's identity is threatened, the lengths he'll go to reclaim it. And it ties into themes of territoriality as well, both in a literal sense with the surfing spot and metaphorically with the protagonist's sense of belonging.
It makes you think about how we cling to the things that define us, doesn't it? And the darker side of nostalgia, too. How our idealized memories of the past can clash with the reality of the present.
And the fragility of the male ego, how easily it can be bruised, and the destructive consequences that can follow.
So now, I know a lot of you are eager to hear what the critics are saying. And we do have some early reviews to draw on from that Cannes premiere last year. Overall, the buzz seems to be pretty positive, with a lot of praise directed at Nicolas Cage's performance.
Yeah, it wasn't hailed as a masterpiece across the board, but it definitely generated some excitement as a tense, well-made thriller.
Variety said Cage holds the screen captive and called it a stylishly gnarly thriller.
And The Hollywood Reporter described it as a lean and mean little thriller, and specifically praised Cage's compellingly layered performance.
And IndieWire highlighted the film's sun-scorched intensity and the protagonist's descent into territorial madness. But as with any film, there were some mixed opinions. Some critics felt the plot was a bit thin.
That's always something to keep in mind, especially with early reviews. It's just one perspective.
And for those of you checking Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic, remember that those scores right now are based mainly on those early festival reviews. A more complete picture will emerge after the wider release on May 2nd.
But it's certainly worth keeping an eye on.
Now, let's speculate a bit. What kind of audience reactions are you anticipating once the film is out there in the wild?
Well, it's hard to say for sure, but given the premise and Nicolas Cage's involvement, I think it has the potential to spark some strong reactions.
Oh, for sure. I can already picture the memes, the Cage Rage, Beach Edition gifs. It's going to be interesting to see how it lands with the general audience.
And given the slightly surreal premise and Cage's penchant for, let's say, unconventional roles, I wouldn't be surprised if some wild fan theories pop up.
Oh, absolutely. So for all you Redditors out there, keep an eye on SAR Movies, our Nicolas Cage. Who knows, we might even see a dedicated subreddit for the surfer if it really takes off. And of course, fandom and wiki are always good places to look for fan-created content.
And don't forget Letterboxd for those in-depth fan reviews.
Now, before we wrap up, let's give our listeners a few resources to follow the surfer's journey.
Okay, so first off, there will be an official movie website launched closer to the release date. We don't have a specific link yet, but keep an eye out for it. It'll probably be hosted by Stan in Australia or the US distributor once that's announced.
We've already mentioned the IMDb page, but we'll include the link in the show notes. And of course, you can track the Rotten Tomatoes and Metacritic scores as they develop.
And for those who want a deeper dive into those early critical responses, we highly recommend checking out the full reviews from Variety and The Hollywood Reporter. We'll link those as well.
So while we can't offer a full post-release analysis just yet, we hope this pre-release breakdown is giving you a good sense of what to expect from The Surfer. It sounds like a film that will challenge you, provoke you, and maybe even stay with you long after the credits roll.
It's definitely one to watch, I'd say.
So mark your calendars for May 2nd, 2025, folks. The Surfer is coming. And before we go, I want to leave you with this question. Based on everything we've discussed, what single aspect of The Surfer are you most curious about? Is it Cage's performance, the themes, the atmosphere, or something else entirely? Let us know in the comments.
There's a lot to unpack, for sure.
We'll definitely be revisiting The Surfer for a full post-release analysis once it's out, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this pre-release cinematic journey, please share the show, leave us a rating, and follow for more mind-blowing movie breakdowns.
We'll see you back here soon.
Until next time.